Hello everyone, my name is Queen Blessing Ibigesin, popularly known as Black Queen. I'm a Nollywood actress and a filmmaker. I'm also the president and founder of Queen Blessing Foundation and the vice president of Association of Movie Producers Nigeria. This morning I'm on my way out for an event, but I just decided let me talk about this, okay? So a lady contacted me 2 weeks ago, and she was very worried. In fact, she was crying. She cried so much I actually allowed her vent. I allowed her cry, because sometimes when these things are bottled up in your mind and you're not able to pour them out, it can make you sick. You can even have a heart attack. So most of the time when people are going through difficulties, I let them know it's okay to cry. I cry sometimes too when things are like taking over me and I'm like, oh my God, why is this happening? And I feel vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable, you get. So I allowed her cried, and she cried, and then I said, okay, it's enough. What is making you cry? And she said that she's been following me for a very long time, and that she just needed an advice. Actually, she has made up her mind, but she just felt something came into her mind and said, why don't you talk to Queen Blessing so that you see if she can help you? I said, okay, go ahead, let's see. It's not every problem I can solve, but if there's anyone my little wisdom can solve, why not? I'm not selling it. God gave me for free, so I use it to help people for free as well. And then she said that, this women, husband, I don't understand what's even going on these days. It's like this marriage issue is turning to something else, She said her husband, they've been married for 6 years, okay? And they don't have issues, they don't have children. And they've tried so many things. They've tried IVF twice, it failed. That the first one failed immediately. The second one she carried for 3 months and lost it. And and it's expensive. So it's not something they just keep repeating. And of course, the body needs to adjust. You can't just do it and it fails now, you go back and do it again. You have to give yourself some time to heal, because it's a tedious process, And then she said, okay, so what's going on now is that the husband has gotten somebody pregnant. And that the mother-in-law is begging her not to go, because she has made up her mind to leave the marriage, because she has put in so much in the marriage. They have a joint account, they have joint businesses, and all their monies go in one place. And she's thinking, how will she now allow this man to marry? Because the problem now is not just because the man got this lady pregnant. The problem is that the family of the lady are insisting that he must marry the girl, because the girl is Igbo, okay? The man is also, and I think from Anambra State or something like that. The wife too is Igbo, so it's the same culture, so they know their culture. Okay, so the problem now is that they want the man to marry this woman. That if the man does not marry this woman, if the girl get married to somebody else, that child becomes that person's child. You now bear that person's name. And if the girl does not get married and gives birth to that child in her father's house, that child automatically becomes her father's child. So the man is in a dilemma. He's been looking for a child for years, and one thing led to another. According to the woman, there's no traces that the man was ever cheating, because the man is kind of very religious. Okay, so she cannot say maybe there's something went on for a very long time, or if it's just one night or whatever. Okay, but the problem now is the man is desperate because he doesn't have a child and he doesn't know if the wife can give birth. So the man now needs to listen to the family of that girl to marry the girl. Now her problem is they have joint businesses, they have joint accounts. Now if he marries this lady, automatically their sweat will be what this lady will be eating from and everything. And the lady will now come and stay in the house and all that. And I told her, I said, look, there's a solution for everything. What is your mother-in-law saying? He said that she thinks that the mother-in-law is even the one that got. I said, why now? Why people like this? Any little thing that happened, you blame it on the mother-in-law. That is why a lot of girls want their mother-in-law to die before they marry the son. Why? I've always prayed, any girl that is praying that I should die before he marries my God's time, my son will never see her. And if he even see you, I will not die because I will live. But you see that prayer you prayed for me, it will not turn on your head. By the time it's time for your own children to get married, you too, you will die. That is just, it's bullshit. How can you be praying that your mother-in-law dies before you marry your husband? I mean, what kind of prayer is that? Forgetting that you too, you'll be in that shoes one day. You're going to have children and one day you turn to a mother-in-law. What kind of nonsense prayer is that? Okay, she was saying that she blames the mother-in-law because she feels that the mother-in-law is the one that instigated the son to go and get another woman pregnant, or even is the mother-in-law that probably even look for the girl, because the mother, I said, okay, what makes you think your mother-in-law did not just hear the same way you heard? He said because the mother-in-law is begging her to accept the woman, and that before you know, that child's head will call more children for her. And I said, look, put yourself in that woman's shoes. Whether you like it or not, she will always choose her son. That is the truth. Let's not paint things. Whether you like it or not, she will always choose her son. Every mother-in-law wants a grandchild, and you are not forth bringing this child. It could be your problem, it could be your husband's problem. We'll talk about that. I said, now that the son has told her that somebody is pregnant for him, do you think any mother-in-law in her right senses will tell the son to tell the woman to get rid of the pregnancy, or allow the child be born in the father's house or whatever, and lose the right for the child to bear their name? It is not possible. The only thing that woman will do is to beg you to stay and accept that woman and that child, and that is what she has done. I don't see anything wrong, and that doesn't mean that she's the one that instigated her son to get that lady pregnant. For all you know, the same day you heard might be when she also heard, but definitely she cannot come and tell you to throw away the everything or kill her son. It's not possible. I say, for me, to be candid, number one, I do not advise people to have joint accounts with men. You get married to somebody, you guys can share bills. Yes, if you're making money, if you're working, you can share bills. You can pay, you can run the home together. He can bring 70, you bring 30, you are the woman, he's the head. But if you're earning more, you can decide to bring 70, he brings 30. You can share bills, but sharing bills does not mean you must run a joint account. You can run joint businesses, and you from beginning get a lawyer to spell it out. This is the profit margin. This is what you invested. This is what I invested. And because I invested AYZ, this is what my each time there's profit, this is what my own share will be, and this is what your share will be. If that is spelled out, immediately you make any sales or any business comes in, you take your money, he takes his money, you pay it in your account, he pays it into his account, and that way there's no conflict. And the reason why I always advise this is because most of the time men die before their wives. This is the truth. Don't look at me like that. Men die before their wife, because in this part of the world, or in everywhere, men tend to be older than their wives. And a person way old pass now, he suppose die now before the person way young. Now it's just simple. If the God say he gives us 70, every other thing is grace. Now, if your husband reach 70 before you, definitely now he go die first, abi? No be so. There are some women that their husband is 20 years older than them. There are some women that their husband is 30 years older than them. So some women that their husband is 10 years older than them. Even if it's 1 year, now person way old pass you, now he supposed die first. And yes, we agree there are accidents. There are circumstances that can make a younger person die before the older person. But that is circumstances. But in a real sense, in the way I believe God designed it, somebody that is older should die first. So if now your wife old pass you as a man, now she go die first. But we all know that majority, 95% of marriages, men are usually older than women. And if you really look at it, there are more widows in the world than widowers, whether you like it or not. So, and if the man dies and you have joint account, joint businesses, if the man does not have good families, they will take everything away from you. Because in this part of the world, they don't believe that women earn anything. They don't believe we own anything. Even if you work your ass up and you make your money, people will still be in one corner saying it is a man that is giving it to you. So why do you want to have a joint account? I kick against joint account. We can share our bills, share responsibility, but make the money dey everybody account. So that when anything happen, you can say it's forever. What if forever no be forever? That's what I'm talking about. Okay.